There's something very endearing about mechanical keyboard maker Keychron and their products. Between the wide range of mechanical switch options and the clean aesthetic layouts, I've come to really appreciate the offerings here. With the Keychron C1 wired mechanical keyboard, I found myself with this 10 keyless device entrenched on my desk, even though I have a closet full of keyboards waiting for me to review. What, then, makes this such an alluring keyboard that I'm unwilling to part with it? Let me try to piece together the reasons in this full review. I'm Alex from the Sypnotix. Let's jump into it. The variant I purchased on Amazon has Gateron G Pro Brown switches with a Mac OS layout for a price tag of $60. The 10 keyless body has 87 keys that are ABS keycaps with RGB backlit lettering pass-through. It's a wired keyboard that uses a USB-C port for connection. All of these are positive traits for a modern keyboard that combines for a well-rounded offering. I can't really fathom anything else missing on the spec sheet for a factory-made plug-and-play keyboard offering. It really has everything. While I do have the Mac layout keycaps on my keyboard, there is a toggle switch next to the USB-C port that changes the layout to Windows. That's pretty convenient for people who use multiple operating systems like me. You can actually also swap the keycaps as they provide Windows ones in the package. People often view Gateron switches as a budget option, while Cherry switches are held in a more premium light. It isn't impossible to find a Cherry Switch mechanical keyboard in the range of $60, but I'd be hard-pressed to find one as refined as this $60 Gateron offering. I chose the brown switches for their smooth linear tactile distinction, and they certainly didn't disappoint here on the C1. There's a subtle clickiness upon input that makes this not only suitable for gaming, but potentially at an office setting. It isn't too distracting or obnoxious like many other clicky sounding bytes. I haven't run many brown switches prior to this keyboard, but now that I have experienced the C1 and how it sounds, I'm certainly open to trying more boards with brown switches in the future. I do like the sound. I also like the three-tone color palette of the keycaps. The white and the black configuration mesh really well together, and that combination is always a safe bet when it comes to mechanical keyboards. The signature orange escape key is also a nice accent piece that surprisingly matches well with the two main colorways. Keychron sells a lot of keyboards, with different combinations of gray as colorways for their keycaps. So this black and white combination, it's a nice change of pace. There really isn't much to complain about in terms of the typing experience on the Keychron C1. The tactile feedback is excellent and the ABS keycaps feel smooth on the fingertips. The layout is segregated spaciously and doesn't really feel cramped at all. Keychron provided enough space between the main layout of the keys and also the delete and the directional key column to give the keyboard a really comforting division. This 87 key layout doesn't feel claustrophobic like some of Keychron's other 10 keyless offerings. I'd rather have that cleaner spacing and forsake a little bit of desk space than have an overly compact device that I can't stand looking at due to how colored together the keys are. So this keyboard also has two adjustable levels of height that is quite standard with keyboards of this design. I have mine locked in at the highest angle, like most of my keyboards do, but the C1 naturally has more, bulk allocated towards the rear of the board. So typing on it flat is actually quite comfortable as well for those of you guys who like typing there. The C1 has 15 types of RGB pass-through backlighting that can be toggled through a dedicated lighting button on the top right of the board. They range from the standard gaming patterns like breathing, flashing, to input rippling and static colorways. There isn't a Keychron companion software that lets you customize the RGB synchronization, which might be like a detractor for keyboard owners accustomed to offerings from competitors like Razer and Corsair. But I personally don't put a lot of stock in RGB software for keyboards in the first place. However, I understand a lot of you do, so that might be something that you have to consider. I wasn't a huge fan of the 15 RGB waves defaulted on the board because it wasn't necessarily that like they were an eyesore or anything to look at, but I couldn't settle on one that I actually liked looking at though. It's missing the flexibility to customize a certain colorway with a distinct pattern combination on your choosing. At $60, this isn't an expensive keyboard, but I've also seen keyboards in this price segment like the Dark Matter Collider, which offers better RGB controls. I think for many first-time buyers of mechanical gaming keyboards, this will be a good basic RGB introduction that a lot of people would love to see the colors on. Those buyers who have experience with other gaming keyboard brands might feel like there's something missing with the RGB experience on the C1 in this price range. I've really grown to like the C1 as my main keyboard at my home office these last couple of months. I've really enjoyed my time with it. However, that time with the board will end sooner rather than later because I really do have to move over to my backloaded inventory of boards that I need to review. But however, I will definitely keep the C1 nearby and pull it out during breaks in review periods because I just love the minimalist approach that a lot of Keychron products have. They're affordable and they look aesthetically pleasing on just about any desk. It looks good for gaming, looks good for work. The C1 has all of these signature Keychron approaches and performs as well as I'd expected. It lives up to the brand reputation. I think it's priced correctly and offers a good amount of flexibility to buyers with the on-the-fly toggling between different operating systems as well. For $60, the Keychron C1 has leapfrogged to the top of my recommendation list for 10 keyless keyboards currently on the market. High remarks from me here. That does it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like gaming keyboards, mechanical keyboards, we have a lot of reviews from both Sari, our gaming accessories reviewer on Sypnotix.com, and also myself here at Sypnotix at our YouTube channel. We got a lot of great stuff coming up, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Visit our website, Sypnotix.com. Hit that like button, comment. I'll see you guys next time.
The other day, my house was leaking. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do about this. I'm a tech guy. I only know tech. So how do I fix that? And then you subscribed and you fixed it. So thank you.